Today I'm here with a review for you. I'm actually sat in my living room. The lighting was really bad in my room. It's not much better in here, but see how this goes. And I desperately wanted to do this review, guys. I don't do a lot of video reviews on my channel. It's something I want to do more of, but just never seems to happen. But as soon as I started reading this book, I knew I needed to review it. And that's Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. I don't know if it's Moyes or Moyes. I'm going to go with Moyes. And I picked this book up after I saw a fellow booktuber talk about it. Her channel is Grace with a Book in Her Face. If I remember, I'll try and link her down below. But I saw this in one of her wrap-up videos, and the way she talked about it immediately made me want to pick this book up. So I did, and I've absolutely fallen in love with this book, guys. I'll read you the blurb. Lou Clark knows a lot of things. She knows how many footsteps there are between the bus stop and home. She knows she likes working in the buttered bun tea shop, and she knows she might not love her boyfriend Patrick. What Lou doesn't know is she's about to lose her job, or that knowing what's coming is what keeps her sane. Will Traynor knows his motorcycle accident took away his desire to live. He knows everything feels very small and rather joyless now, and he knows exactly how he's going to put a stop to that. What Will doesn't know is that Lou is about to burst into his world in a riot of colour, and neither of them knows they're going to change the other for all time. As soon as I started reading this, say 50 pages in, I knew I was just going to absolutely love this book. It tackles a really difficult subject. Will is injured, but before he's injured, he lives a very full and active life. He's a ruthless businessman, but he loves going sort of adventure holidays. He loves his skiing, diving, everything like that, riding his motorbike. Like, he's a very active person, and then suddenly that's taken away from him. It's not actually while he's riding his motorbike, he's walking, and he is actually injured by someone else on a motorbike, and basically it turns him into a quadriplegic. There's no hope of him ever walking again. He's racked with pain and discomfort nearly every day of his life. There's also complications of him getting pneumonia, things like that. He's not living his idea of his life. Then there's Lou Clark. She basically is a waitress. She works in a little cafe, and then the owner decides to sell up and move back to, I think it's Australia, or New Zealand. Anyway, so she basically has to go through the rigmarole of finding another job, and she ends up becoming a private carer for Will, not so much for the medical side of things, but as a companion. And basically, it doesn't start off very well. Will's a bit of an arse, and Lou doesn't quite know what she's doing, but they develop this friendship that goes from there, and it's absolutely incredible. This book had me smiling, had me laughing. You wouldn't think it would with the subject matter that it's tackling, but Jojo Moyes has this incredible sense of humour that she weaves through this. Lou Clark is one of the most entertaining protagonists I think I've ever read in my entire life. She's so bubbly and vivacious, but then there's times where she's really quite down, and she's just an incredible character. Really did make me laugh. This book also moved me to tears. It's unusual for a book to do that. Not that the book doesn't normally make me feel emotions, but for it to physically move me to tears was incredible. I finished this book last night. I have the biggest book hangover. I have no idea what to read next because I just loved this so much. When I started to read this, I instantly knew I would love it, but it has become one of my all-time favourite books. It's absolutely incredible. Like I said, have the biggest book hangover. I was actually stalling reading the end of this because it's one of those books where you don't want to stop reading, but also you don't want the book to end. So I was stalling. I was reading the last 100 pages really slowly because I didn't want it to end. Just incredible. I know as a reading community we don't always like it when you get stickers on things that say if you liked this or if you liked such and such, you'll like this. But the only way I can think to describe this, to recommend it to you, is if you liked The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. This feels like a more adult version of that to some degree, and I just can't recommend this book highly enough. Even if contemporary adult literature isn't normally something that you would read, I highly recommend picking this one up. I've talked to everyone and their dog about this book. I've talked their ears off. All my colleagues at work, my mum, Ryan from Ryan Reads Books. Like, I just can't stop thinking about this book. It's really got to me, and I just absolutely loved it so much. It's the easiest 5 out of 5 stars rating I have given in a really, really long time, and I immediately want to read everything that Jojo Moyes has ever written, but I'm also scared to, in case it makes me into a crying mess that I was last night when I finished this book, and now I have no idea what to read next. But seriously, guys, you have to pick this book up. I can't believe I'd not really heard of it before now. It is being made into a movie that I think is coming out next year. Really interested to see how they handle it. But this book, guys, truly incredible. And if you haven't already, you have to check it out. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. I didn't want to give anything away and spoil it, because so much of what's good about this book is how it unfurls along the way, and I don't want to ruin that for anyone. But you seriously, guys, you need to check this book out. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. I don't know when I'm going to be picking up the sequel, because I don't know if my heart can handle it yet. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Happy reading.